Hey guys, it's Trish back with another Dress It Up Buttons video. Today we're going to be making a super fun Christmas necklace. We're going to be using these fun wreaths and canes from Dress It Up Button. This is of course Disney and Mickey and Minnie. Aren't they just adorable? I'm going to be using one of the packs of the pieces out of this candy striped Christmas collection from Dress It Up. I'm going to be using some Jesse James Beads Designs by Me bead mix. This is the mini mix in red. I have some gold chain reaction, gold and white, some jump rings, some crimps, and some stringing wire. So what I'm going to start with here, guys, is I'm going to show you what I do to get the buttons to be able to be used on a necklace, okay? So these are the ones that I have done here. What you're going to want to do is get out a jump ring. And this is, actually looks like I need one more in there too. This is about the size. This is probably about an 8mm jump ring. And then one of your buttons. So what I do is I simply just take the button, and you can see, sorry, there's my paper towel because we're going to be using glue. If you're wondering what I'm bringing in here, this is just a piece that I have hanging around. You're just going to cut that shank off with a heavy-duty pair of clippers or scissor. And you're just going to cut that shank, especially on this one because it's very much toward the top where we're going to need to put our jump ring. So I just want to make sure that that is cut. And then if it's sticking up a little bit, you can always just take a nail file or a metal file if you have that on hand and just kind of file that down. Get it a little bit more flat so you have a better work area to put your jump ring on. Now, if you have bails, you know, some glue-on bails, those would work as well. But it's just as simple as taking your jump ring, and I like to make sure, of course, that it is closed straight and ready to roll. And then I just take a little bit of glue and just put a dab at the top there. Okay. And then I'm just going to put my jump ring on, and I'm going to put the open side down. And then I just have a little piece of wire here. You can use anything that you have there, head pin, wire, whatever, to kind of put it into the position that you want so you don't get glue all over your fingers. And then I just put a tiny bit more over top of it just to kind of hold it there. And you may need to go back and reposition once you get that little bit over top and just make sure that it goes in to the position that you want. Okay. And then just push down. So that's going to have to glue. I would say in about an hour it'll be cured, but not completely. So if you can let them set overnight, they're going to be nice and solid for you. Okay. So that's our first step. And then all you're going to do is once those are dry, I'm going to set this one back out of the way, is I put 3 jump rings on each one of mine because when I hang them on my bead stringing cord, I want them to look really nice. I want them to have a little bit of a presence. And if you just put a single one there, yeah, it'll look okay. You could certainly do that. But I like it with the 3, sort of brings them up a little bit, brings them to look a little bit more higher end, I guess. So as you can see here, I was getting out more 8mm jump rings. These ones I already have done. It looks like we need to put 1 more in here and then the 3 on here. And that's just as simple as taking your pliers that you have on hand and just opening up one of your jump rings and putting that through that loop that we've glued on, okay? All right, so there's that one, and we just need to add the loops to this one. Now I have used all of the mini buttons out of there, out of that mix. 2 in the peppermint and 2 in the Wreaths colors. I did want to make like a centerpiece a little different, so I pulled out this double candy cane from that other mix, and I really think it's going to make it look cute. It's going to be just like a nice centerpiece. So we have 2 more here to put on. Let's see here. Where's our open? There it is. Okay. Push those up out of the way and grab my beads because those are next. And again, we're just putting our jump ring through. And then 1 more. So the main focals of our necklace are ready to go. And this is just basically a basic strung necklace. Okay, let me just get that one closed. So I'm going to lay out here how I want my pattern to look. So I think I want to do it like so, and then put my candy canes in the middle, or I could put these on the outside. Yeah, maybe we'll do that because then it kind of keeps all the candy canes separated. So once you get that decided, how you want to do your layout, we're just going to take some stringing wire. We're going to open up our beads first. And I'm just going to put those into a bead bowl here. So we have them handy. And these Jesse James beads you can actually pick up at Walmart or at jessejamesbeads.com. Okay. So 1 more in there. Another stray. And I thought this would be the perfect mix to use for a holiday necklace. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Softflex. This is in green emerald color, but you can use any kind of stringing product that you like to use. And what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to string right onto my roll. And eventually I'm going to cut it because I'm going to kind of build my middle piece first and then work out from there, because I want to see what beads I want in the main piece here. So I think I'm going to start with just this pretty bead here. And these are kind of in burgundies and reds. And then maybe one of these really pretty rondelles. Okay. And then I'm going to slip on one of my wreaths. Okay. And I just want to make sure, I don't want my beads sliding through the loops, so I want to make sure that we're good on either side of that. So I'm just going to put a small bead there, a larger bead, and then maybe 1 more small bead. Because the wreaths are the largest, so they're going to need the most space. Okay. And I'm just simply stringing that on. You have to make sure and, you know, space your items out correctly. So those rondelles on either side of those look really good, and I think that's going to hold it in perfect position. So let's see, we got 2 more, 3 more in there of those. Let's get those out. Whoops. And then for the space between our wreath here, we're going to do the cube bead, the long bead, and 1 more cube bead. Let me just dump these out. I think that'll be easier for us to see. Okay. Now we should be good on space for those 2. All right. And then you're just going to pop on your wreath. Actually, let me put 1 more larger bead just to make sure. It's a matter of mechanics here, guys, because the jump rings that you choose, you don't want them sliding back over top of your beads. Okay. So there we go. Yep, that'll be perfect. Now we're going to put another one of those that we've picked up, these little crystals, and put on there. And then we had our glass bead. And I need there. I'm just making sure that I have the beads I need for the other side. And then let's see, are we going to have enough room? Nope. We're going to need a little more space, so we're going to put on this beautiful bead. Then put our candy cane. Okay, so now that we have that side all worked out, we can just mirror it on the other side. Okay, so we're going to put the teardrop bead, one of these glass beads, a crystal one down, a wreath, another one down, go. And then one of these. These are really pretty. These almost remind me of like, what do they call it? Cathedral beads. I think that's what they're called. Really pretty. And they have a really pretty AB coating on them. Okay. And our last wreath. And you can see how much easier the second side is because you have already done the work. You've put your design in. You know that everything fits okay. Let me make sure I have all those. Yep. Okay, and then one final bead on the end. So now we have our centerpiece designed, okay? So let me lay this out here for you. Okay, and the nice thing about this is going to give you your center. This is going to be right in the middle of your necklace. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to work myself out a little ways and then we'll put the chain on, because this is the main work right here. It's just getting this design done and getting your buttons placed where you want them. But doesn't that look adorable? And then those jump rings, like I said, it just kind of brings it up a little bit. And you can see here in this mix, we also have a clasp provided. So that's really nice. So let's see what we want to do on this side. So let's put... And as I'm going to pick my beads out here that I want to put down, I'm going to put the opposite one into the bowl. So I'm sure when I go to put on the other side, I will have what I need. So I'm going to put on this gold spacer and put that in the bowl. That's just a good rule of thumb to do, guys, because it keeps you from coming up short in the end. Or if you want to make earrings, make sure you take your beads out ahead of time for your earrings. Say if you wanted to do those tassels and those beads and these beads. Okay, so I have those set to the side. The rest of these I know that I can use for my necklace. Okay, I just set up the tassels with 4 beads and we'll be able to make a cute pair of earrings with that. So next we're just going to put on a rondelle and take that other one and put it in our bowl. Another one of the pearls. I'm going to put these really pretty one in here like that. And leaving it on the strand like this keeps you from your beads dumping off the other side as you're doing it. Now, once you cut it, you're going to want to put a spring or something on this end, one of the spring holders, to make sure that you don't have everything dump off on you here. Okay, so I put that one in. So now we need to put this one in the bowl. And then we'll put this one. Put that in the bowl. And we can just use up the rest of our beads here by doing a fun design. Okay, so that's all the ones I'm going to use. We have our earring ones put aside. I'll make those at a later time. And so we have that side done. So there you go. There's your half of that necklace. So now we're just going to do the easy part, because we have our beads right here that we're going to use. So we started here, we ended here actually with our wreath. So with our wreath part, so we're going to put on the same beads on this side that we did on that side. Okay, so I'm just going to watch my pattern here and just fill up this side of my necklace using those beads. Okay, and just goes as quick as anything. Just like after we built our first side and you got your pattern put in, it gives you that space to go ahead and do the other side without having the same issues. Okay, quick, 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 huh? There we go. And there. So now that one's done. That side's done. So here we are with our necklace so far. So now what we want to do is we want to start crimping the ends, because once we crimp the ends, then we know our necklace is secure and we can put our chain on it without worrying about the beads coming off. And we do not, after all of our work, we do not want that to happen. I'm just going to get a couple crimps here. Okay, and then put my lid back on. Speaking from experience, it's the best thing to do. And I'm just going to take my crimp and slide that onto my wire, just like so. And then take my end of my wire here and go back through that crimp. Okay, now you don't have to worry about butting your beads up to it just yet, not until we get to the other side. And I'm just moving that crimp back up this wire to get the loop the size that I want. And that looks about good to me. And I'm keeping my wires side by side as to how they went into that crimp. Okay. And I'm just going to take my crimpers and just crimp that. And there you go. One in place. And then to check your crimps, you always want to, I usually take my round nose pliers and put them into the circle and then pull on this, pull on that, just to make sure everything is solid. I am not one to leave a piece of stringy wire to get thread back into the beads. I just believe it doesn't do any good, so I always just cut mine off. Okay. It's not really serving a purpose in my opinion, but I know there's some diehard folks out there that love it, love to do that. So now the same thing. So we add our crimp on this side the same way. All right, and now we're going to run that wire back through here, and now is where we're going to kind of get everything into position that we want. So again, I'm going to utilize my round nose and just put it through the end of that loop, and you can see how it pulls everything up. And I kind of pull everything up, but I want to make sure everything's not too tight. I'm kind of just moving my necklace around. Do I want to give it just a hint more space? This is where you'll find out where your spacing is and how comfortable you are with how everything is laying. So I'm going to do the same thing. Once I get to a comfortable tension there in my necklace, I'm just going to go in again and crimp. Okay, that's it. So we have our loops on each end, and I'm going to cut that off. So this is basically our necklace right here. Okay, so now once you have your necklace put together, the last thing to do is just to put some chain on it. And what I like to do, I like to measure, and I do have a measure down here at the bottom of my desk, and it's telling me this is 12 inches. So I probably want my piece to be 20 inches, 21 inches, 22, somewhere in there, between 20 and 22. So I know that I'm going to want to use 10 inches of chain, which would probably be the easiest. We could do, so that would be 5 and 5 on either side. We could do 4 and 4, and that would leave us a little room for our clasp, if you like it on the shorter side. For me, that's about a good length for me. If you want it to be an 18-inch or something like that, you would adjust accordingly. Just kind of do your math. I always take an inch off for the clasp, and then add that to the length of my piece, and then figure from there how much chain I want to add. So same thing here, guys. We're just going to go in and attach this to our piece, and I'm just going to come here to the middle of our chain reaction, just like so, and I'm just going to cut that right in the middle, and then I'm going to measure because I want these beads down toward the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to do, say, about 5 inches, or excuse me, 4 inches there, and trim. And then I'm going to look at the other side and see where we ended. And there you go. And I'm just going to make sure that I want to get that remainder loop off there, because I know I want it to end with the loop that's on the bead. So I'm just going to cut that off. There we go. Okay, so that's the piece that we have. And we're going to cut a piece that exact same length for the other side with the beads matching. So to do that, I'm going to take this and I'm going to have to cut that off right there in that loop just to get them so they're matching. Okay. So again, I'm just trimming that off, and then gonna see where we're matching up here, and we are. And then I'm just gonna cut 2 links here because I can see there's 2 links left above on that one. Okay. And then it's just gonna be as simple as going in with some jump rings and attaching everything. Okay. So I'm just gonna take a couple smaller jump rings. Let me get this guy back up here so you can see what's going on, and then get stuff attached. Guys, I'm getting excited. We're almost done here. Can't wait to see our beautiful piece that we've created come to a close. Okay, so I'm just going to hook the jump ring through the chain and through the wire, the loop that we made on the beading wire, and close that. Make sure it's closed well so your beading wire is not going to slip through. And you want to go back and forth for that. Just rock that back and forth just to make sure that it's nice and closed for you. Okay, and front to back opening through the loop of the bead stringing wire and through the loop on the chain. Okay, and then we just have to add our clasp. So we're just going to hook in our other jump ring, just like so. Okay, and then before we close that, actually, we want to put our loop on there for the closure. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's get this over here. All right, and close that. And then add in this jump ring through that jump ring. Whoops, I went flying. And then hook on our clasp. We're going to close it up just like so. And we have our finished piece. Just as simple as that, guys. Our beautiful Christmas necklace. Our Minnie Mouse wreath necklace with a beautiful clasp and chain and beads. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. This was super fun to make, and it'll be a really pretty statement piece for you to wear this holiday season. I hope you enjoyed it. and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.